Live from the NJ.com studio comes the only weekly TV podcast you'll need, where a lofty critic squares off with an obsessed superfan on everything from highbrow drama to lowbrow reality. The cocktail shaker is ready. Prepare for your TV hangover. Now, your hosts, Vicki Hyman and Erin Medley.
Hello and welcome to TV Hangover. I'm your host, Bertha. Just kidding. It's Erin. And I'm here with Vicki. Vicki, how are you?
I'm doing fine. You sound awful.
Really? I think it's the new sound of podcasting.
Diseased.
I'm not diseased. Just a little bit of laryngitis going on here, but I couldn't stay away from the podcast.
Oh, God forbid.
It's the highlight of my week.
Even after buying your own house.
Even after, yes, buying a house that is being renovated. I've become one of those people that you see on HGTV who have to live in one room because their house
with
is
a hot plate
and I'm like,
microwave.
I swear I would never be one of those people. I am that person, and it's annoying. Mm-hmm. It's really disturbing. I only came to work to get away from the contractor. Honestly.
I was without a shower for 2 weeks. Every once in a while, the contractor would sort of jerry-rig a shower for me. Maybe if I smelled really badly. I had to use a lot of French showers.
That's funny. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at TV Hangover Show. I'm at E_meds, and Vicki is at Vicki High, VICKIHY. Also, guys, we have an email address, and we actually received an email.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yes, it's TV Hangover Show at NJadvancemedia.com, and I'd like to give a shout out to Randy in Pittsburgh, who says that he loves the podcast, Vicki.
Yay!
I know. Someone's listening.
I love Randy.
I love Randy, too. And he said it's part of his weekly routine. So had I not been here today, what would poor Randy have done?
Well, I could have handled this all by myself.
She's trying to kick me out already. Well, thank you, Randy, for sending us an email. You are the first, and hopefully you won't be the last. I mean,
well we're still going strong.
We'll see. So, Vicki, I'm moving, as you mentioned, or moved, and now I have a new internet provider. And I didn't realize that, I could surf the internet on my computer and on my iPad and do it quickly and have things work. Because my previous internet provider, that will not be named.
Why don't you want to name them?
Was terrible, Verizon. Was terrible. And that was part of the reason why I didn't have Netflix. Because it would be a pain in the ass. Everything buffering every couple of minutes. Oh, did I just say the A word?
Yes, you did.
My bad. It's a podcast, whatevs. That it would just be buffering every 5 seconds. So now that I have the new internet provider, Optimum, and I have Optimum really fast. Mm-hmm. I'm shocked. I think I'm going to get Netflix.
I can't believe you had that much problem with Verizon. I mean, I don't have Verizon. I have Optimum. And I have to say, I will never use Verizon because when I lived in an apartment for 2 years, they couldn't find my house to install a landline because I still wanted a landline because I'm over 40 yeyears old. And they tried to come out 10 times. They said they tried to come out, never did. I will never, ever use Verizon.
No.
Sorry.
It wasn't even...
I guess we just lost it. We
lost a sponsor. Oh, please. It wasn't that, and not to rag on Verizon, but I know Fios, people really like Verizon Fios. I didn't have Fios. I had DSL. Mm-hmm. So it was extremely slow. I could never do anything. If I had more than 3 tabs open, it just wouldn't work. But now, with Optimum, not a paid sponsor.
Not a paid sponsor, believe it or not.
It's so fast. Well, right now, I'm waiting for my DirecTV to be installed. So the only way for me to watch TV is online. Mm-hmm. And last night, I'm watching... And I'm like, oh my God, it's not buffering. Things are just playing. I went on my iPad at the same time. I was like, I can get Netflix now.
Welcome to 2015.
Oh my goodness.
Almost 2016. So you haven't actually gotten Netflix yet?
No, but I will because my DirecTV won't be installed.
And first on your list to watch on Netflix?
Making a Murderer.
Okay.
Obviously. Vicki, it's been a busy news day, TV news day. We just found out a couple hours ago that Bill Cosby is going to be charged with sexual assault.
From 2004, because the statute of limitations is nearing.
Just about
is
up.
Nigh.
And this is a woman who's brought she was actually the first woman, I believe, to bring allegations against him. She worked at Temple University at the time.
Although, like, the allegations have dogged him for, decades, right?
I don't know if it's decades. I think she was the first one in 2000. I believe it was 2006 that she brought this up, and that really started the ball rolling. And then there were a few years in there where people just forgot about it, and then Hannibal Buress brought it up again last year, and that's where we've seen all of these victims come out. I mean, does this taint the Bill Cosby legacy for you?
I think at the beginning it's kind of a struggle because you're like, well, he hasn't been convicted of anything, innocent until proven guilty. But I just think the weight of all the women's allegations, you can't look at him the same way again.
Right.
I certainly have not. We try to introduce my son to different comedians and stuff like that. It's like I get to Bill Cosby and I'm like, I just don't know. So we don't.
Yeah. I haven't seen an episode of The Cosby Show in a while. That's probably because everyone's yanked it from syndication.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I could watch it. I love that show, but
it's not something that I've ever really felt like I wanted to revisit. Like, I enjoyed it when I was growing up. It's nothing that I'm like, I have to watch it again.
Right.
But, I do think that his, I love his comedy. I loved his comedy albums. And it's just really hard to reconcile that. But as I said, the weight of these allegations, like so many women. But then, if we want to move to the other allegation that came out yesterday, where Mark Salling from Glee, the much beloved Glee, he played Noah Puckerman. He was arrested yesterday for possessing child pornography,
which is like,
and it's like, what do you do with these people? Especially, and again, like, not proven guilty.
Right. Just charged.
Yeah, I remember Pete Townshend had like a really weird thing a few years back where he was also investigated or maybe arrested for child pornography. And he was saying, well, I'm working on a documentary. I'm investigating this. And it's like, well, was he?
Right.
What the heck? But that kind of died out.
Right.
So, how do you, is there, is his career over basically? Mark Salling.
Mark Salling's career was over a couple years ago. Newsflash. When he left Glee and nothing happened.
You're right.
So I think we're good there. But yeah, when these allegations come out, it's sort of like the sobering reality of these TV stars and movie stars. Like, they're regular people and they do the same dumb things that regular people do.
And speaking of which, it's been very much in the news lately. R. Kelly, who has had a horrible allegations. A video is out there showing him urinating on a young girl.
Golden shower.
Yes, thank you, Erin.
You're welcome.
And he was on like the Soul Train Awards. He's feted all the time. People, it's like I was reading something written by a former colleague of mine, Craig Lindsay, who had said that what this shows is that the media, people really just don't care about young black women within the R. Kelly instance, because people are just willing to just give this guy a free pass. Chris Brown too, to an extent.
I will say that I don't know if it's young black woman per se, but I always feel like musicians get a pass. Like, there are plenty of musicians who have done really craptacular things, but I think music resonates with people in a way that maybe movies and TV don't necessarily do. Because you hear a song 100 times, 200 times, and some songs really speak to you. I always feel like musicians get a pass. I can't recall an instance where...
But they shouldn't.
Oh, no. I don't think they should, but I just think that they do. I really wish we had that R. Kelly clip from Huffington Post live interview.
Oh, yes. That's why it was news again, because the reporter was asking him about these things, and he didn't want to hear about it. Just like Chris Brown didn't want to hear about it. When was it? On ABC, Good Morning America, he threw a chair through the window.
Right. Well...
Because that's how you show you've been rehabilitated and are very sorry about what's happened. About your temper.
I will say that I have met Chris Brown in person for an interview, and he was lovely, and that is all I can judge him on.
Really? You can't judge him on the fact that he was arrested and charged and convicted?
Well, that's different. But
I love Forever. Yes. Love that song Forever.
Or is that like that's in the Wrigley's commercial, or like some
it was in the viral video.
Oh,
that one.
So Vicki, I want to talk about the most pirated shows of 2015 real quick, because I had a WTF moment when I heard this list the first time.
Okay.
So I'm not going to go in the normal order. The most pirated show was obviously Game of Thrones. I mean, I think this is like the third year in a row or something like that. 14.4 million.
I know exactly what you're going to say because I had the same moment when our producer Anthony showed me this list.
At number 2, we have The Walking Dead with 6.9 million. All right, that makes sense. Fine, got it. At number 3, we have The Big Bang Theory.
Yes.
Who the hell is pirating The Big Bang Theory?
It's on free television. I don't know. And it's on all the time. Well, look at number 10. I'm sorry. Number 10 is actually even more of a mystery to me.
Okay, no, it's not.
Why?
Suits is on you. First of all,
it's not on free television.
Suits awesome, and it's on USA. But no, The Big Bang Theory, I think we've had this conversation before. Who the hell is watching The Big Bang Theory? I don't know I can't name one single person I know personally who watches The Big Bang Theory. Can you?
I know that somebody I know does because he's like a physicist. Okay, so he has something in common with Sheldon. Hopefully he has also recently lost his virginity. Spoiler alert. I know like one person has mentioned that show to me, but no, I don't know anybody watches it.
I don't get it. If you watch The Big Bang Theory, please email us, tvhangovershow@njadvancemedia.com, or tweet us at tvhangovershow.
That was smooth.
Thank you. Because I really want to know why. That's it. I don't want to know anything else except why are you watching that? So, Vicki, we're in that time of year where there's not much on TV.
Well, speak for yourself, Erin.
Well, why? What are you watching?
I have all of the winter TV shows, screeners, and stuff like that coming up.
No, I agree. There are winter shows coming up, but right now there's nothing.
It's dead.
So we're waiting for the winter premieres, eagerly anticipating some. I want you to tell us a little bit, because I know you've watched it, about American Crime Story, the O.J. Simpson.
Oh,
whatever.
my God. So, I get most of the screeners. I get lots of episodes. In some cases, sometimes I only get one. And, when I have this, cascade of screeners sitting in front of me, which one do I watch first? The one I picked was the OJ one, American Crime Story, which is different from ABC's American Crime, which I liked very, very much last year. John Singleton directed it. And I think I must have gotten them confused in my mind somehow because I was expecting so much more from OJ's American Crime Story.
And this is the Ryan Murphy-led show on FX?
Yes, it's on. Yeah, I think it's on FX. Yeah. It's got John Travolta as Robert Shapiro. It's got David Schwimmer as Kardashian.
Robert Kardashian.
Yes. Cuba Gooding Jr. completely doesn't look anything like O.J. Simpson. I'm sorry, I don't understand that casting at all.
Agreed.
And who is the latest?
Sarah Paulson.
Sarah Paulson is Marcia Cross. Marcia Cross, no, that's the lady who put her wig on Melrose Place.
Who's on Quantico now?
Marcia Clark.
Yes,
thank you,
Marcia Clark.
So I was really excited about this, and it was so disappointing to me.
You said to me that it reminded you of a made-for-TV movie.
Yeah, it was like a Lifetime. It was like I don't even know if it's one notch up from a Lifetime movie. And like some of the actresses, like Connie Britton plays
Faye Resnick.
Yes, she plays Faye Resnick, and she seemed like she was acting in an actual, like, either a Lifetime movie or a Lifetime movie spoof. Whereas some people are trying to be, more serious about it. Like, I couldn't understand. It was like, it's not that it's low budget. It was just, I couldn't understand like what they were adding to it. And I know I only watched the first episode and they gave me more to watch. And so the first episode basically focused on OJ from the time of the crime to right when he gets in the Bronco and takes off.
Okay.
And the show is going to focus more on the behind the scenes machinations of the legal team. So we're going to get a lot more on, Marcia Clark and Shapiro and Kardashian and all that. And very much with Darden and Johnny Cochran, whoever the actor is playing Johnny Cochran, I can't remember offhand.
Courtney B. Vance.
Oh my God, looks just like Johnny Cochran. Amazing.
And nothing like himself.
Yes. So there were some hints of interesting ththings happening where you see Johnny Cochran talk to Christopher Darden and basically saying, you're on the wrong side. You're in, you're on you need to come work with me. Come work on our side. You can't do anything from this side for the people.
Right. The black people.
The black people. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to keep watching it, but I was pretty disappointed.
Well, here's what I'll say, and I haven't seen it, so I don't know, but I think it might suffer from the Valentine's Day movie syndrome, where there is a movie and it has a lot of famous people in it. Those normally are not the best movies. So there's Valentine's Day, there's New Year's Eve, what's that other one? And it had all those big stars in it, and you're like, there's no way this can't be good. It has all the best actors. And then it's...
No, it's just not good.
All right.
The writing is not very good. There's nothing in... Like... I did watch the first episode of American Crime, which continues to be very, very watchable and very interesting to watch. A lot of our interesting artistic things going on here, and it's just this OJ thing is just flat.
Well, we have
it's
a clip from the new season of American Crime.
All
Let's
right.
take a listen.
Isn't that something? Isn't that beautiful? These young men working together for a common goal. Not just winning basketball games, but bringing out the best in each other.
I don't want to go back to that place.
Stop.
I can't show you the pictures.
I don't know what happened.
What are you doing about what happened to him?
It's about respect.
My son was raped. You need to be very careful with that word.
American Crime.
So, season 2, they're taking the anthology approach. Same cast, different story.
Mostly the same cast.
Mostly
yeah.
the same cast. Is Regina King back this
Yes,
season?
she is.
Oh, okay.
She's great.
She's everywhere.
Yeah, she is. MVP.
So have you said you watched it?
I watched the first
pilot.
episode,
the premiere.
and I think it's going to be more relatable than last season. Maybe last season turned people off because it was like people on the fringes.
Right.
But the anthology is about crime, race, and class, which very much is part of this. It's about a young white poor kid who gets, I guess, financial aid to go to a fancy ritzy school in Chicago, I think it is, where the basketball team is all that, and he may have gotten assaulted by members of this basketball team, which includes white kids and black kids. It's very, very good. I can't wait to watch more of it. The one thing about the show is that it's not an easy show to watch at all. And everything is very, very intense. And as just mentioned earlier, John Singleton makes just really amazing directorial choices and framing. And it's really interesting just to watch from that aspect.
I was one of the people who was turned off by the first season. I did not like it at all. But I'm actually interested in the storyline.
What did you not like about it?
It was, like you said, it was very intense. It was more cinematic than I was used to for a TV show.
Which is great.
I don't know. It pulled me out of it. I didn't like the performances. It just wasn't my cup of tea. I didn't like the storyline. But I think this one I'm a little more interested in. I'm going to give it another shot. So I will definitely watch it when it premieres, I believe, next Thursday, January 4th.
American Crime, January 6th.
6th, January 6th.
On ABC.
On ABC. So now on a little bit of a lighter note, there are a few comedies that are premiering this winter.
Alleged comedies.
Vicki does not find them funny. I want to take a listen to a clip from the Jane Lynch-led Angel from Hell.
Dr. Allison, it's me, Amy, from the farmer's market. How random is this running into you?
It's really random.
Who's this bit, honey?
I'm Brad. I'm the brother.
Hey, I want to show you something. I got this thing on my shoulder. Might be a mole. Could be a wax burn from some degrading role play. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do.
Why don't you just come into my office?
I am currently in between insurance carriers, so what's your barter policy? Just messing with you. I'll pay cash. It'll probably be all ones. And no, I'm not a stripper, Brad.
Damn it.
I'm not done with you yet.
Good. If you need me, I live above my sister's garage.
Ooh, you're a project, aren't you?
Get your tool set ready. Why was I flirting with that woman?
I have no idea.
So, Angel from Hell. I watched the pilot.
Oh, did you?
I did. And I watched the second episode as well. I liked the pilot, although I found it most amusing that before I watched the pilot, I watched the first look sneak peek, which was maybe like 2.5 minutes. You can watch it on YouTube if you're interested. And then I watched the pilot, and I was like, boy, I did not need that extra 20 minutes in there. It was the same thing.
Well, it's funny because I had such low expectations from this that the fact that it did not meet my low expectation meant, like, it's a winner. But it's still, I still thought it was bad.
So it stars Jane Lynch and Maggie Lawson, who starred on
where do I know her
Psych.
from? Oh, I don't know her from
You don't
that.
know her from
No.
Psych. I also feel like, did she play Cher in the reboot of Clueless? No, that's not right. That was a different actress. No, but she was definitely on Psych, and I liked her a lot on Psych. And Jane Lynch is her guardian angel.
But she doesn't believe that. Or is she? Is she crazy? I mean, she seems to know an awful lot about this girl, so I think we're supposed to believe that she's the guardian angel.
And there was also at the end of the pilot, I don't want to give it away, but it's not really a spoiler, but she sees a photo and, that could possibly confirms that Jane Lynch is actually her guardian angel. I thought it wasn't terrible, the pilot. I thought it was okay.
It was okay. It's something that I am really not interested in watching. It's like maybe like laundry folding material for like 20 minutes. Right. Okay, fine. But I can't really see it lasting.
I can't see it lasting either. And it's on CBS, I feel like the tone that they're taking with it is very similar to that Robin Williams show from last season that I really liked. That I never
The Crazy Ones.
The Crazy Ones, yes. Where it's a little bit edgy for the CBS audience. And
not that edgy.
It's not that edgy, but it's a little edgy. All right, fine.
I have to know that this was actually supposed to premiere, I think, back in October, November, and got pushed back, which is never a good sign.
Never a good sign. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I'll keep watching it, but I thought it was okay. Another comedy that's premiering, this one on NBC, Superstore.
Yeah, which got an early premiere along with telenovela in November, December.
Correct. And I watched
2 episodes of it.
Starring 2 people that I love, Ben Feldman and America Ferrara. Love them both. The show is terrible.
I didn't think it was terrible.
What?
I didn't think it was terrible. It was okay. I thought that Ben Feldman, who, as we all know, is Ginsberg from Mad Men.
And also he was on A to Z.
A to Z. The thing is, I felt like he was playing exactly the same character as he was on A to Z, but it wasn't quite as interesting. And I thought that everybody around America Ferrara and Ben Ginsberg were trying way too hard. I know I have this horrible reputation for being that's so unrealistic, but apparently only 12 people work in the Superstore, which just annoys me.
And the Superstore is very similar to a Walmart.
Yes.
It's not similar to Target, but it's very similar to a Walmart. And it's just their daily lives. I saw in one trailer for the show where they're critics are comparing it to The Office, and I'm are they?
In that it's 22 minutes. I don't know.
It's not like The Office. It's not similar at all. I don't know. I'm not going to be keeping up with Superstore, even though I do love those 2 actors. And you mentioned telenovela. I missed the sneak peek on that one.
Oh yeah, I actually kind of liked it. Again, it's not really my cup of tea, but Eva Longoria, very game. Everybody it was one of those. It's one of those ensemble workplace comedies where it's not like with Superstore. People really aren't trying. Well, not they're not trying too hard. Everybody's working. They're all gelling really well. Everybody has unique characteristics that aren't just made up. They don't seem just made up to give this person a quirk to make them stand out.
Right.
So I enjoyed it. I'm probably not going to keep watching it, but I enjoyed it.
Well, I will definitely check out telenovela. Because it has my guy in it from Prison Break.
Oh, yes, Maury Nowalski. Yes, he's great.
Oh, my God,
he's great.
I love him.
He's great.
And all I need to watch a show is a cute guy. It doesn't take much.
Are we moving on from winter television? Because I have so much more to say.
You did no, of course not. What else did you watch that you want everyone else to watch?
Well, I have to say, on the comedy side, the only one that I was really interested in is this really great show. It's I think a joint American-British show called You, Me, and the Apocalypse. Which has sort of got the same feel as the other apocalypse comedy, The Last Man on Earth. It's very weird and odd and kooky, and it's got a great cast, which includes Rob Lowe, the Grinder. I'll just watch him in anything. I really will.
What network is this on?
Oh God, I think it's on NBC.
Oh, okay.
I think I get the screener, so I don't always notice. But it starts off with 20 people trapped in a bunker as an asteroid is about to hit the Earth, and it flashes back a few weeks. And speaking of The Office, there's Jenna Fisher is on it, and there's the lead character is actually played by kind of a John Krasinski type, Jim Halpert type character. So look out for that one.
Half-hour comedy?
A half-hour. I think it is actually, because I was watching. I had 5 episodes, and I just kind of kept on watching it.
Okay.
So it's really hard for me to tell.
Well, Vicki, there's one show on my list that I'd like to bring up.
Yes.
That would be Secrets and Lies, season 2.
No.
Also an anthology series. Different cast, except for Juliette Lewis.
She's back?
She's back as the same detective.
The same detective?
Same detective.
Oh,
but now...
she was the worst thing about the show.
Well, wait. Let me tell you. So I watched the premiere. We now have Michael Ealy, also eye candy worthy. We have one of the guys from Chicago Fire. I don't need to know his name because you're not going to know who I'm talking about. And we have she was on Beverly, like the new 90210 reboot, Anna Lynn McCord, that's her name. And Terry O'Quinn. Now, if you listen to this podcast, and I'm sure Randy from Pittsburgh is going to know what I'm talking about, Vicki said, I believe it was last week, that she would watch anything that stars Terry O'Quinn.
I don't want to watch this one, though. Don't make me watch this.
No, let me tell you, I watched the whole first season of Secrets and Lies. I recapped it for Vicki every week, just us two.
It took like half an hour.
One-on-one, with its crazy plot twist. I will say, watching the premiere of season 2, you'd think it was a different show. It's not bad. Okay. I actually thought it was good, and the acting is good. I really like the characters. There isn't a ton of Juliette Lewis in it, and it's hard to figure out where it's going to go. Whereas with last season of Secrets and Lies, I think I called that it was a little girl like way early.
Yes.
So this one, I do have my guess as to who the killer is, but I'm not going to spoil it just yet till after the premiere. But I think, Vicki, you should give it a try. I don't think you'll hate it.
Well, I tend to stay away from reviews of shows that, have been in, production for a while. Mm-hmm. But like with anthologies, I feel like I should give them another chance.
I think you should give them another chance.
So I will watch one episode of it.
Yes.
One episode. I will commit 42 minutes to it.
And then we're going to talk about it.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
So just to recap, like I've watched more than a dozen of the new shows so far. And ridiculously enough, like one of my favorites so far, and this is coming from a person who said that Quantico was the best show of the season, take that with a grain of salt because things can go south. I like Shades of Blue with Jennifer Lopez. Crazy enough. I liked it.
Do you think that Jennifer Lopez is the star of that show? Now, I haven't seen it, but I'm guessing. Or do you think Ray Liotta is the star of the show?
Jennifer Lopez is the star of the show.
Really?
Yeah, Jennifer Lopez is the star of the show. Ray Liotta's like certainly up there, but it's her show.
Really?
Definitely her show.
All right.
Definitely her and her hairstylist show.
Her hair looks amazing.
Yes, it's ridiculous. I'm willing to give her a pass on being drop dead gorgeous and being, like a police detective. Fine. Okay, whatever. I'm not gonna, not let you star in a show because you're gorgeous. Right. But your hair should not look that good if you're a police detective.
And this is on ABC, correct?
Oh, God. I think it's
yes,
NBC?
It's on ABC.
NBC? I don't know.
I think it's on ABC.
I know I should know this.
You should know these things, Vicki. But maybe there's something in like all the ABC contracts where it's like leading actors.
No, I think it's NBC.
Oh, it's NBC. Because I was going to make the parallel between Priyanka Chopra on Quantico and her perfect bangs. But whatever. It's J-Lo. What do you expect? Yeah. She's going to look gorgeous no matter what. So, Vicki, it's my least favorite time of year. That'd be New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve, yeah.
I always go to bed before midnight.
Do you? That's kind of sad.
I go to bed, and then I wake up like 11:50, 11:55,
okay.
Watch the ball drop, see the people cheer, kiss, confetti, and then I'm over it.
And what channel do you watch that on?
I flip. It depends on who's on the screen at that time. Now, all of the major networks, except for CBS, which I just don't understand, they all have their New Year's Eve programming. And I want to know, based on hosts and guests, which show you want to watch, Vicki. Are you ready?
Okay.
All right. On ABC, we have the longest show title ever. Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve with Ryan Seacrest 2016. And it will also star Fergie from the Black Eyed Peas, or formerly, Jenny McCarthy, and Carrie Underwood. Not floating your boat yet. Okay.
Well, no, I have to say something. I mean, growing up, and being over 40.
You've mentioned that twice.
I haven't.
Is there a complex?
No, it's not.
You
There's
don't look
no
a day
complex.
over 37.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
There's just Dick Clark was the only game in town for so long, and so I just have a tendency to gravitate toward. Just like my family grew up watching NBC, and so I have a tendency to watch the news and NBC,
Yeah.
and so it has nothing to do with Ryan Seacrest or anybody on there. But I'm going to turn it to ABC. I'm going to be watching Dick Clark. Even though the late Dick Clark show.
Oh my gosh! Remember those last few years where they propped him up? And
it was so
awkward.
It was. I had really mixed feelings about that because the man was there in his mind. He could talk,
right.
And although he did not have the same silken tones as he has always had, I was kind of happy to see. You can come back from this, but it was still so incredibly painful to watch. Having had a loved one who's gone through that, it was incredibly painful for me to watch.
It was terrible. All right, so over on NBC, we have NBC's New Year's Eve with Carson Daly.
I like Carson more than I like Ryan Seacrest.
I agree. I love Carson Daly. I'm so glad when they were talking about getting Ryan Seacrest on the Today Show, and then it turned out to be Carson Daly. I was like, thank goodness for that. We have over on Fox, Pitbull's New Year's resolution. Or is that revolution? Revolution. Revolution would make more sense, but it's Revolution. And that stars, Vicki, tell me how many of these people you know. I'm going to go name by name. Jussie Smollett.
From Empire. I'm not dumb.
Shawn Mendes.
Don't know.
Austin Mahone.
Is it Country Kid?
Nope.
No, don't know. I've heard of him.
Pia Mia.
No.
Prince Royce.
No.
R City.
Is that English? What?
I don't know who. Look, let me tell you something. Vicki is not up on a lot of the more recent music acts.
No.
But I don't know half these people. I was just like, who the hell's Pia Mia? And then I remembered she's BFFs with one Kylie Jenner.
I've heard of her.
Okay, well. Over on PBS, we have Live from Lincoln Center. Nobody's watching that. And on CNN, we have New Year's Eve Live with Anderson Cooper and Kathy Griffin.
Dynamic duo. Come on. They're pretty fun.
They are really fun. Kathy Griffin pushes the envelope a lot. And I remember that first year she co-hosted with Anderson, and I thought they would never ask her back because it was that awfully great. But she's back. I think they've been doing it for at least 5 years now.
Yeah, actually, you know what? If I had a choice of what to watch, because I will be at a party. That's what I do. That's how I roll. I go to a friend's house every year. They have a party for New Year's.
Is there drinking and debauchery?
There is drinking. There's no debauchery, but there is cheese fondue. I made sure of that. I said there is going to be cheese fondue, right? Because that's how I roll with cheese fondue.
That would have been a deal breaker?
Yeah. I actually told her, I said it won't be a deal breaker, but I may have to bring my own. But there's somebody usually brings cheese fondue.
So now we know.
Yes. Anyway, but I will make them put on ABC at midnight. But I think if I had it sitting at home watching it, that's the one I'd watch.
I think if I weren't asleep, I think I would watch that one too. I do like them together. They're really good. And I know that there are going to be a lot of marathons. I remember as a kid on New Year's Day, there was always the Honeymooners Marathon on Pix 11 or WB, whatever it's called, Channel 11 in New York. But I won't be watching that. What's on, Vicki?
Well, there's a lot of stuff to choose from. If you're one of the 7 people who haven't caught The Walking Dead yet, AMC is doing a Walking Dead marathon. FXX is doing Simpsons all day long. For you hipsters out there, you've already seen it, but Portlandia is going to be an IFC. MTV has got Catfish. You guys made me watch that once.
And you thought it was what?
I didn't like it at all.
No, I don't like it either.
I don't like Catfish.
No,
it's
that's
sad,
not my
and
show.
it makes me feel it makes me really wring my hands for the future of civilization. Catfish people.
Because all these young people are so gullible.
They're dumb.
I'm dating this guy that I met on Facebook whom I've never met.
And he's an underwear model and a PhD.
Exactly.
I
he
can't
can only
deal.
talk to me on the phone Tuesdays and Thursdays between 3 and 4. Something's not right there, people.
I can't deal.
Yes.
If I'm going to recommend one to you, I would recommend Showtime is doing a Shameless marathon. Starting from the very beginning, which is very good because Shameless is going to be starting its 6th or 7th season in early January, and is one of my favorite shows always. It's another one of those shows where I just can't believe they go there, and they go there all the time. But it's also it's a dramedy. There's Emmy Rossum is amazing in it, and of course There's been a couple of nominations for, help me out here, Fargo, the movie Fargo. Felicity Huffman's husband.
Oh, William H. Macy.
Thank you. William H. Macy has gotten nominated for an Emmy a couple times off it. So watch that on Showtime.
Maybe I'll watch Shameless.
Yeah.
Now I have my high speed
Shameless
internet.
is great. But you have to watch from the beginning.
I will.
And TLC has Say Yes to the Dress, which is the kind of thing that I watch when I'm like putting together furniture for my mom.
Yes.
We're sitting there watching. In Atlanta, I think.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I was hoping you were going to say
At
that.
least some of them, I think, are in Atlanta.
I mean, Atlanta's fine, but it's not as good as New York.
New York, of course.
Because
course.
I mean, if you had to choose, you would take Randy over Monty any day of the week.
TV Land is doing Younger, which got picked up for a second season. Will be starting soon.
Did you watch season 1 of Younger?
I watched half of it.
I watched the entire season. It's a great show.
Oh, great. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is based on a book by Montclair author called Younger. So yay for her. And I like Sutton Foster. It's one of those shows that, and I think we were going to talk about this at some point, I really like. Do not have time to keep up with it. I did like it. And if you like How I Met Your Mother, there's How I Met Your Mother on WGN. And there are also more. Oh, Twilight Zone is going to be on Sci-Fi for those of you who like the vintage. So.
And for the rest of you, you can always pirate The Big Bang Theory and add to those numbers. Yeah. Again, if you watch The Big Bang Theory, tweet us at TV Hangover Show or send us an email, tvhangovershow@njadvancedmedia.com. Vicki, that's all we have for 2015.
Aww.
I know the year's over, but our podcast is not done forever, just for this year.
Just for this year.
We will be back next week with a new episode. As I said, don't forget to follow us on Twitter at TV Hangover Show. Subscribe and review us on iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, and Spreaker. So many things. And you can follow Vicki on Twitter at Vicki Hy, VICKIHY. And I am at E_meds. We thank you guys for listening. It's been a great 2015.
Especially Randy.
And
but we
Jack.
haven't forgotten you about Jack.
No, we haven't forgotten about Jack. It's been a great 2015. We will see you guys in 2016.